morning, students. Today again I'm in front of you. Hope everything is fine and your studies are going smoothly. Children, today I'm going to explain you the second chapter of English book of class 12, Flamingo. And the chapter's name is Lost Spring by Anis Jung. Spring, is a time of making merriment and enjoyment. It makes us feel fresh. But when I say lost spring, it means the freshness, the happiness is not there. Let me brief you first about the author. Anis Jung was born in 1964 in Rourkela, and she spent her childhood and adolescence in Hyderabad. She received her education in Hyderabad and in the States or USA. She inherited the literary tradition from her parents, who were both writers. Anis Jung began her career as a writer in India. She has been the editor of Youth Times and she remained a columnist for major newspapers in India and abroad. She is the author of several books including Unveiling India, Night of the New Moon, Seven Sisters, and Breaking of the Silence. The following is an excerpt from her book titled Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood. Here she analyzes the grinding poverty and traditions which condemn the poor children to a life of exploitation. These children, are denied the basic rights and even the opportunity of schooling, and they are forced to work as a labor in their early years of life. Beautifully portrayed here. The story has two parts. Now I'm going to explain you the first part. Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. This chapter tells you about a boy named Sahib. The author comes across Sahib every morning. Sahib left his home in Dhaka long time ago. He's trying to sponge gold in the heaps of garbage in the neighborhood. Means he used to carry a big bag and used to collect all the usable things from the garbage. In Hindi we can say kabadi. The author asks Sahib why he does that. Sahib mutters that he has nothing else to do. There is no school in the neighborhood. He is poor and works barefooted. Not only Sahib, there were about 10,000 other shoeless rag pickers like Sahib. They lived in Simapuri. Simapuri is a place on the outer edge of Delhi. They used to live in structures of mud with roofs of tin and tarpaulin, but devoid of sewage. Means no sewage facility is there, no drainage or proper drinking water is there. They are squatters who came from Bangladesh back in 1971. Means they were refugees who came to India from Bangladesh. They have lived here for more than 30 years without any identity card or permit. They have right to vote. With ration card, they get grains. Food is more important for survival than identity. A strange thing, means no identity, but they do have ration cards. Wherever they find food, they pitch their tents that become transit homes, not permanent homes. Children grow up in them and become partners in survival. In Simapuri, survival means rag picking, picking some usable item from rags. Through the years, rag picking has acquired the proportion of a fine art. Garbage to them is gold. Means for us, garbage is a, something which is not actually good. But garbage to them is gold because they get their livelihood from it. It is their daily bread and a roof over their heads. Sometimes Sahib finds a rupee or even a 10 rupee note in the garbage heap. Then there is hope of finding more. Garbage has a meaning different from what it means to their parents. For children, it is wrapped in wonder. For the elders, it's a means of survival. One winter morning, the author finds Sahib standing by the fenced gate of a neighborhood club. He is watching two young men playing tennis. They are dressed in white. Sahib likes the game, but he is content to watch it, standing behind the fence. Sahib is wearing discarded tennis shoes. His tennis shoes, which were thrown away after a lot of use. And the shoes look strange, and his shirt was discolored, and his shorts were too not tidy. For one who has walked barefoot, even shoe with a hole is a dream come true. So, the Sahib was so poor that he was not even able to buy a proper shoe. So when he got the tennis shoes, it was like a dream come true. But playing tennis is out of his reach. This morning, Sahib is on his way to the milk booth. In his hand is a steel canister. He works in a tea stall. After some time, author saw Sahib working in a tea stall. Now he is paid 800 rupees and all his meals. But Sahib is no longer his own master. Earlier, he used to carry a bag, used to search the heap of garbage and got something which he used to sell in the market and get some money to buy food. But today, as he was getting 800 rupees per month along with fooding and lodging, but he was not his own master. Earlier he had a carefree look, now which was lost. He doesn't seem happy working at the tea stall. Here, children, I have portrayed the life of a rag picker boy called Sahib. Now please contrast it to the life of another boy named Mukesh. See, the goal of Sahib, as I told in the beginning, was, which is very clear from the line, sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. And now, the goal of Mukesh, which I am reading, I want to drive a car. Here, now I narrate the story, the second part. The author comes across Mukesh in Firozabad. Firozabad is a place very well known for bangle making industry. And his family is engaged in bangle making. But Mukesh insists of being his own master. I'll be a motor mechanic, he announces. I will learn to drive a car, he says. So Mukesh wanted to be his own master. He wanted to be a motor mechanic. And this was his dream. Firozabad is famous for bangles. Every other family in Firozabad is engaged in making bangles. And since last many generations, families are working around furnaces, welding glass, and making bangles for women. None of them know that it is illegal for children. I think now it has been banned. For children like Mukesh to work in the glass furnace with high temperature in dingy cells without air and light, they slog their daylight hours, often losing the brightness of their eyes. See, if you continuously work in bright light, definitely you are going to lose your eyesight. And that was the regular thing for the people, those who worked in the glassmaking industries. If the law is enforced, it could get Mukesh and 20,000 children out of the hot furnaces. They walked down stinking lanes choked with garbage, past homes that remains hovels with crumbling walls, wobbly doors, and no windows. Humans and animals coexist there, since the living condition was totally wretched. They enter a half-built shack. One part of it is thatched with dead grass. A frail young woman is cooking meal over a firewood stove. She is the wife of Mukesh's elder brother and already in charge of three men: her husband, Mukesh, and their father. The father is a poor bangle maker. Despite long years of hard labor, first as a tailor and then as a bangle maker, he has failed to renovate a house and send his two sons to school. All he has managed to do is teach them what he knows, the art of making bangles. Mukesh's grandmother has watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polishing the glass of bangles. She says that it is his destiny. She implies that God-given lineage can never be broken. They have been born in the caste of bangle makers and have seen nothing but bangles of various colors. Boys and girls sit with fathers and mothers, welding pieces of colored glass into circular bangles. They walk in dark hutments next to lines of flames of flickering oil lamps. Their eyes are most adjusted to the dark than to the light outside. Means they are more adjusted to dark than to the light. They often end up losing their eyesight before they become adults. Savita, a young girl in a drab pink dress, sits alongside an elderly woman. She is soldering piece of glass. See, a small girl soldering piece of glass. Her hands move mechanically like the tongs of a machine. Perhaps she does not know the sanctity of the bangles she helps make, because bangles are considered pure in Hindus as they symbolize the suhag. The old woman beside her has not enjoyed even one full meal in her entire lifetime. Her husband is an old man with flowing beard. He knows nothing except bangles. He has made a house for the family to live in. He has a roof over his head. Nothing except bangles. He has made a house. Little has moved with time in Firozabad. Now families do not have enough to eat. They do not have money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles. The young men echo the lament of their elders. Yes, the young men blame the elders that they have done nothing. They have fallen into the vicious circle of middlemen who trapped their fathers and forefathers. Years of mind-numbing toil have killed all initiative and ability to dream. Means they are so suppressed and depressed that they even can't dream to come out of that thing. So children, two distinct worlds are visible. One family is caught in poverty and burdened with the stigma of caste in which they are born. The other, a vicious circle of moneylenders. So sometimes this question is asked, what are the two worlds? So one world will be one family caught in poverty and burdened with the stigma of caste in which they are born, and others, the moneylenders, means the rich and the poor. The middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of laws and politicians. And together they have imposed the baggage on the child that he cannot put down. The author is cheered when she senses a flash of it in Mukesh, who wants to be a motor mechanic. The author becomes very happy that Mukesh wants to realize his dream to become a motor mechanic. Means he wants to become his own master. So students, this was the explanation. Hope you would get benefited. And for any queries, contact me. I am providing my number. And at last I would like to say, actually if I can stay at home, why not you? Thank you.